What's happening with Dan Lawless here, West Ham Fan TV, and I am joined with a special guest. He's back. I'm joined with KG, Leeds fan, and I mean, it's good to have you back, mate. I mean, it was a really interesting time last time, like an interesting chat last time, and it seems like we've come a long way since then. But how you been?
Yeah, man, it's all good. I'm back again. Listen, it was a different prediction last time, so we'll see how it goes today. But
Yeah,
my
well, I
prediction was
can't
slightly
remember.
changed.
Did you predict I can't remember if you predicted like a 5-2 or a 5-3 or something. But we both
No,
thought it would be a high scoring game, and it was.
yeah, I think I said 3-1 to Leeds at the time, which
Mm.
it wasn't out of the realm of possibility then, but things have changed a bit now, so we'll see how
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah, I mean you're right. I mean it's with Leeds, it's never really out of the realm of possibility. I mean, as for me watching Leeds, I find you guys a frustrating team to watch. And I don't know if you feel as a fan you feel the same, but like I watched the Aston Villa game, I watched the Arsenal game, and yeah, it's good to watch a lot of the time the attacking football, but it's like the amount of chances you get and the amount of attacking play, and it's just like the end product can be so frustrating sometimes, and I mean I don't know how you feel about when you're watching Leeds, if you feel the same or.
Yeah, I mean, barring a couple of games this season and the Villa one you just mentioned there, that one was quite a boring game. It was very, very. It was just a regular game, just like the one against Wolves too, the one that we lost as well. That wasn't a very good game either. But yeah, I mean, we are where we are in the table, 11th, and I think we've won 11, lost 13. That is pretty much how I thought that the season was going to go. And I said that at the start of the season. I probably said it on the last preview that we was on. I said that we'd win one, lose one, and things like that. And that's pretty much how it's played out. In regards to the chances missed, yeah, it's very frustrating, but there's nothing we can do about that now until the summer. You may have heard about a player that we've got called Raphinha. He has raised the bar so high when it comes to the standard of player that he's making others around him just look absolutely average. And there was a few players that I knew were going to be all right coming into the season, but there's been a couple that are just not up to speed. And those are the ones that over time that you've got to filter out. And, the hierarchy at the club know, because they already said that we're going to be getting maybe 4 to 5 players in the summer. So as far as like the style of play and everything else, how we're playing, it's fine, but you just need better personnel. And that's why we're 11th at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Raphinha obviously has been like a real breath of fresh air for you guys in the Premier League, and it's Bamford's an interesting one because he's done well. He's scored a few goals, but do you think that him getting so many chances has helped, and maybe the fact that he should be finishing more of the chances he gets, or like why do you think that the end product hasn't been there in a lot of the games? Like, because like you said, like when you watch you guys, like you're mostly in the opposition's half. Like watching that Villa game, for example, like you guys kept coming and coming and coming, and it would just be just a poor ball or a poor cross or something like that that just wasn't there. And you could see Bielsa's literally like he's raging on the touch. I was watching him, he looked like he was pissed, so he's frustrated. But yeah, like why do you think that is?
Well, I mean, there's a few reasons right now. I mean, we're playing with not our first choice centre back pairing, which in turn means that we're moving midfielders back into defence or defenders into defensive midfield. We've got a couple of injuries at the minute, so we're having to play players that normally wouldn't be starting, and it's quite clear why they're not starting. There's just a few reasons. It's all overall the lack of quality in the squad. If we're being honest, you mentioned Bamford, but he hasn't been really at fault in the last few games because he hasn't been getting the service. And if it's not coming from Raphinha at the minute, it's not coming from anywhere. Mateus Click is out of form. He needs to get back into it. I mean, he's our real only recognised centre midfielder. And Bielsa's putting him on the bench some weeks because he's just not performing. I think he's carrying an injury, but that's what it is at the minute. We've got Tyler Roberts in there, who's for me isn't Premier League level. Sorry to say to Tyler, but I want the best for my club, so I'm not really into individuals. But when we're talking individuals, Raphinha is that level. And you can see, you talk about Bielsa being frustrated. When Raphinha is setting up chance after chance and they're not being put away, he gets frustrated. That's what them kind of players are like. They expect better from people around them because they're so good. And if it's not happening, they get annoyed too.
Yeah, and I feel like Calvin Phillips was obviously earlier in the season, he showed a lot of promise, but to
Yeah.
me, it seems that his form has dipped as well.
He's injured. He hasn't been playing.
Hasn't he?
That's another reason.
Maybe, yeah. The last time, because the last few games when I did see him play, and that I don't know whether it was his fault or just because it was a team thing at all. But obviously he is definitely one of the players that you look to. Maybe he was playing with an injury, but definitely he's one of the players that you look to in that midfield to make things happen. And I think really when you look at your guys this season. If you spoke to you guys last season or the season before, you would have snatched your hand off for this type of season, because at the end of the day, what matters is that stability in the Premier League. Like that's it. Like that first season, that's what it's all about. And I think where you guys started so well as battering teams, the expectations just rose like off the bat from like a lot of other rival fans and the media. And that pressure got put on. But do you guys feel like, whatever happens, like even if you was to finish 11th, 12th, whatever, you'd be happy?
Yeah, well, I predicted 10th at the start of the season because, as I say, I watched all the football in terms of Championship when we was in it and in Premier League, and I just knew that there was going to be teams that we would outplay, and it's happened the way I thought it would, barring the Crystal Palace away defeat. That one wasn't. I would never have thought we'd lose 4-1 on that game. But in terms of the way we play and the coach that we have, I knew that we was going to outdo teams like Newcastle and things like that. Defeats like it's those defeats at home like against Wolves, Villa, Brighton that are disappointing because we just didn't show nothing in those games. But that's what better personnel will get you, where you can possibly change those results. But for me, 10th is where I thought we'd finish. I still think we're probably on track for that. Maybe it will be 11th. I just thought the people that thought that we just finish above relegation zone just didn't see the way that we played. A lot of the football today, as you will know, is about coaching. If you don't have good coaching, then the football just goes to pot anyway. So I knew we'd be more than fine. It's all about building off this because without progress, I mean, we got Raphinha in, but if we don't progress with, from here, we won't keep players like Raphinha at the club for long.
Yeah, because I think there's other teams will definitely start sort of sniffing around, and
Dan, just on that, we're seeing links with Liverpool, Man United, and all these guys, and you see in their fan base talk about getting Raphinha for something like 30 million. It's like, what we talk about here? It's a bit like the Souček rumor I've seen for Barcelona for 28. It's like these teams have just got these entitlement issues where they think they can just take players, but we're not in a position where we just have to sell. And I mean, Raphinha only came out yesterday and said that he's happy and everything, but we all know that story, and then they go in the summer. But I don't think he'll go this summer because he realistically wouldn't have expected to go from Champions League Rennes in France to think that we're going to finish in Europe this season. So obviously he must have known that it's going to probably take a couple of windows in order to get players up to his standard. And I think he'll be here. If not, though, the fee's going to be way higher. I mean, you've just only got to look at like Nicolas Pepe for 72 million. He's 3 times the player of Nicolas Pepe. So it wouldn't be a cheap sale. So for the fans thinking they could just get him for 40 or something like that, it's just not going to happen. He's got 3 years left on his contract and he's 24.
Yeah, we had that with Chelsea fans and Declan Rice. I would just give you 30 million. Here's 30 million and like some dead player we don't care about. Ross Barkley or like now we're hearing Man United want to just like, we'll give you Jesse Lingard plus Johns, not John Stones, Phil Jones. Mata. Like we'll just give you all of these players that we don't want anymore. You give us your 21-year-old, captain. It's like that. It's the same with it's the same with other like Grealish. It's the same with any team. They think they can just like, we'll just give you a little bit of money. You'll give them to us.
Yeah.
So I completely see where you're coming from, and you're right. I don't think he leaves because the progress is still there. That you're still on that trajectory from where you were last season, and having a coach like Bielsa and getting to play some of the football he's playing. You know what I mean? But again, it's similar situation that we're in. It's you have to show that ambition, and they have
Yeah,
to see that you're bringing better players in and you're trying to progress the team.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But before we get into the game, I have to ask you this question because always see these comments a lot on the timelines. But is a lot of criticism, and it's not necessarily against Leeds, but it's against the media portrayal of Leeds. A lot of rival fans get fed up with a lot of the praise that goes Leeds' way, even when you guys lose. I don't know how you guys feel as Leeds fans, but a lot of other fans get, because it's like, even when we played you guys, in fact, and we won, you know, you got match today, a lot of the talk was about Leeds. It was like, Leeds, we see what Leeds did that, and Leeds. And other fans are like, what the hell, man? Like, it's all this talk about Leeds, and they're I don't know how you guys view that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just speak for myself, because I found that this season, especially since we've been promoted, man, I mean, it's just flip-flop. It goes from game to game. One week they love us, one week they say that we're naive and everything else like that, and we can't play this way all season long. It's been like that since we've gone up to the Premier League. It's almost like they haven't watched what we've been doing in the Championship for the last 2 years. But I can understand where fans get annoyed with that. But it's not Leeds United's fault. This is like pundits getting overexcited. But it's also on the Premier League too, because when you're seeing teams like Palace and Newcastle just stink the joint out week after week, we are a breath of fresh air, you know. And it's the same with Brighton. Brighton haven't won that many games this season, but people are loving what they're doing. It's just that they can't finish. They really can't finish their chances they're creating. For me, there's all kinds of things that go with the praise, because I hear Scott Parker from Fulham getting praised a lot, and I had to look at the table the other week, and at the time they had only won 2 games. I thought, where's all this praise coming from for Scott Parker? They've literally won 2 games all season. So it comes, this praise and everything comes in various forms. You always hear about Roy Hodgson doing a good job at Palace. Is it really? You know what you're getting from Palace, and for me, that shouldn't be worthy of praise. Just being happy to be here. So I do understand why people get frustrated, but our style of play is very different from a lot of teams in the league, as you can see by the goals scored and also the goals against. So yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, Dan, I don't really listen to pundits and stuff that much anymore. I've really tuned them out. I rarely watch a preview show now. I just, as soon as the game's on, I'll put the game on, but I won't listen to the commentary beforehand anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, a lot of what they say, and that is why fan channels exist, because a lot of these pundits just don't know what they're talking about when it comes to the team. You know, they don't watch the team week in, week out, and you know what I mean, they're just interested in sort of pushing their agendas across a lot of the time. So yeah,
and also Dan, they get their game for the day and then look at a few notes and then talk. You know, then there's no investment there. That's why people love hearing us talk on YouTube, because we're invested in our own teams. We're giving it from, you can either be really biased or what, but we're giving you more details than these pundits will give you.
Yeah, exactly. We're basing it off of stuff we've watched all season and for years and years and years. And like you said, they'll just have a few notes and then just spout off whatever based on a couple of notes. So that is frustrating with the bloody pundits. But yeah, so looking at our game, Mike Dean is back. I'm sure we all let out a collective sigh when we saw that. My point of view was, I hope it works for us and not against us. This, because you know he's going to do some sort of nonsense. It's just which team benefits from that nonsense, man. And
I mean, that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't even be knowing these referees' names, you know. And I'm not being horrible to him, but he's built up a profile. He gets profiled and his love for Tranmere. Who cares? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to know nothing about the referee. The referee should be there to officiate the game. But when you see him, when he gives a penalty, he does these dramatic things, and it like a dramatic point, and that's just it. That's no good for me. I don't want to see none of that. I don't care about referees. And the fact is, you're right. He will be a factor in it at some point. It's just, does he want to upset the West Ham top 4 push, or Does he want to anger a load of Leeds fans? We'll see what mood he's in on Monday. But again, I mean, they're all televised these days, aren't they? But Monday night football televised, it's perfect for him, isn't it? It's his arena.
Yeah, exactly. So you know something's going to happen. It's,
Mm.
it's frustrating, but yeah, I mean, obviously, apart from that, like we was talking about before we went on camera, you know, last time we played each other, we was both around a similar position. I can't remember if we was just one place above you or vice versa, something like that. But we was around a similar position, and yeah, obviously went into that game. You know, and I went into that game feeling anything could happen, like really, and anything could have happened. But I thought it was a good game for us. I thought we created a lot of chances, but didn't put chances away. And you guys had something you didn't put away. But yeah, I mean, since then, obviously, we've just kicked on. I mean, what have you made at West Ham like since it?
Yeah, man. Listen, you guys have been doing your thing, man, and it's been interesting to see, because at the start of the season, if you had thought that with all the things that were happening off the pitch, the Dean Garner sale, the Mark Noble tweet, and everything else like that, you'd never thought that the team would get together and do what they've done so far. Just, if without hindsight being a factor, but you guys have done it, man. The players are working on the pitch. It seems like whatever defensive combination you put in, it seems to be working. You central defenders have got a lot of competition within each other. It's like when everyone goes out injured or suspended, someone comes in and just stays there. That's a sign of a good squad. So Ben Rahm's still bedding in, and he's looked good in a lot of games. I mean, he was good in that game against us. He was trying his best, everything he could to score against us. So, Jesse Lingard as well has been a great addition. What you see, and this isn't being disrespectful to West Ham. This is what Jesse Lingard needed. He needed to get out of that Man United situation and start again at another club where the spotlight isn't so bright. You got a big spotlight at West Ham, but come up, Man United spotlight is completely different, and you guys are benefiting from him being there, and he's doing really well there. Souček is obviously doing his thing, as we spoke about before as well. It's just working. Antonio, is keeping those hamstrings together a bit better. You got to manage him, but yeah, man. You know what? You cannot complain. Fabianski, brilliant goalkeeper. I think I said before, I rate him very highly as well since he's been at your place. It's just working for you, man. Moyes is working his magic, and who would have thought that? But it would be interesting. The way the top four race is going, you could easily get in there. And that's what kind of worries me for this game coming up.
Yeah, this is a very big game for us if we want to keep in that top four race. It's a must win. I mean, it's not a must win in terms of like it's the end of the world if we lose, but if we do want to keep ourselves in that race, we have to win this game. And what gives us obviously last time we played you, I don't think we had Antonio, and we definitely didn't have Lingard. So I'm very interested to see the impact those guys can make in the game. The big worry is, and which might give you guys a boost, is Fabianski is not 100% guaranteed to play. He was obviously injured for the Man City game. Randolph wasn't 100% and ended up hurting his thigh, so we might have to play our third choice keeper in this game. David Martin most likely will be playing, which is a worry. It's a huge worry because the amount of shots you guys will take, obviously it depends if they're going to be on target, but I think there's going to be a time where we'll need the keeper in this game, and if it's not Fabianski, I think that could be our to our downfall in somewhere where you guys can really get a lift from. So that might be music to your ears.
Yeah. I mean, and also just looking past this game, if Fabianski does come back, which I think they said he might do, even with no training, you have to look at it and say, will he get himself hurt again in this game? Is it worth playing him in this one if he's not completely ready? So, Moyes has got a decision to make there. But yeah. I mean, if David Martin's in goal, then of course you fancy your chances a bit more. But as I said, your defense has been quite resolute too. So it's not a given that we're just going to get past and get shots off at your goalkeeper. Your defense has been really good, whichever combination you've been using.
Yeah, and that is the reason why I feel a little bit I don't want to say confident, but fans feel a little bit more confident going against these because it seems like we have like our team is built to face Leeds. Like
Hmm.
we, the way our defense is set up, but the way we can also attack at the same time. Like we've always been solid, and Man City had such a hard time
Yeah.
against us, and obviously a world class ball from De Bruyne, like that ended up finding its man. That is De Bruyne all over, and then all of that stuff and you think the keeper should have done better for the second, but yeah, we've been solid, so that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable going into this game than if it was like say last season when we was facing Leeds when there was so many like we haven't had a single individual error that has
Mm.
led to goal, that's led to a goal.
Yeah,
The
I mean,
only
look,
one that you can pinpoint was against Leeds, but it didn't. I think penalties don't count because we had that individual error that you guys capitalized off, then got the penalty.
yeah.
But yeah, in terms of a direct goal, we haven't had a single individual error, so it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Well, you just look at the makeup of your team and just how it's going. You got is it Sufol at right back? Is it Sufol
Yeah,
or Kufol?
so
Right?
far, yeah,
Yeah, Cresswell and a combination of Dawson, Diop, about whichever you like. Then you got your wingers that will break Lingard, Bowen, Benrahma, Declan Rice, Souček just holding in the middle, and then Antonio up front. You've got a really, really good setup there. It's something that I think you should be very happy with. I mean, I'd be very happy if that was the case now. So you can see why it's working for you.
yeah. It's going to be an interesting one. Like you said, you mentioned that this isn't a full strength Leeds side as either that we're facing. You've got, I think you said Phillips out. Who else is missing? Like from your first, what would be a typically starting 11 player?
Yeah, Rodrigo will probably be out. He'll probably be on the bench. He just completed the under 23s game, so maybe he'll be back. We don't have Robin Koch back yet. Um,
Yeah, you didn't have him last time, did you? I don't think.
was he injured then? He's been out.
I
He's been
think
out a few. Yeah, he's been out a few months, but
I remember
yeah,
us talking about him being missing around that point. I don't know if he like
right,
came
right.
back or yeah. I feel like he didn't play.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and obviously, as I said, we've got Mateus Click playing, but I think he's injured. I think he's playing with an injury, so it's like half a body on the pitch, and that's really no good in a Bielsa team. So yeah, there's still a few, and with a squad like ours, those kind of injuries just mean everything because we don't have like for like replacements off the bench, not at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I suppose looking at the positive side for Leeds, like what is it that you feel like can that West Ham should worry about from Leeds that you feel like this is actually somewhere where I think we can get joy out of this game and get something.
Yeah. Well, I think Jack Harrison will be back in the team for this game because he sat out the last one for Helder Costa, and Helder Costa just did absolutely nothing to keep Harrison on the bench. So Harrison might have a bit of fight in his belly again and hunger to get on with it and get involved in the game more. Obviously, Raphinha is always going to be our danger man. It's just the way it is.
Mm.
So any set pieces that we can get with him on the ball is a major plus for us. Patrick Bamford, if he's getting the service, he'll be hungry to score. Patrick Bamford's got so many personal targets. It's only beneficial to us that he's playing the way he is, and he's looking to get on that plane for the Euros. He wants to get in that squad, so that's always a thing. And plus, he captains himself in FPL, so I mean, I know it sounds silly, but these kind of things just drive football. It's a really weird one. So he'll be hungry to get back in the goals too. So those are our threats at the minute. Stuart Dallas is always solid for us too. I mean that's pretty much it right now.
Yeah, interesting. And like, what would you think the biggest weaknesses are? Obviously, one of our strengths as well has been set pieces. I think we've scored more set piece goals than anyone else. We've got Souček is a huge danger man, and
Dawson,
Dawson, Diop as well. You've got Diop,
yeah,
Antonio. You know what I mean? So that's been a big plus for us. But like, what would you say are some of the key weaknesses West Ham might exploit?
yeah. Set pieces. It's been our Achilles heel all season long. It's been our Achilles heel for a few years, in all fairness, but it's really been showing this season that defending set pieces, sometimes the most basic set pieces have been scored against us. Like if you put FIFA on easy mode and you just cross in the ball and from a corner and head it in, it's been that easy sometimes, and that's just not good enough. So definitely set pieces is a weakness for us. And also at the minute, playing through the middle, as there's not many teams that get opened up in the middle the way that we have more so since Calvin Phillips has been injured. But the center of midfield is such a big issue for us. It's unreal.
I think that might be sort of music to Lingard's ears because, typically, we might, exploit the wings, but Lingard has been sort of just driving down the middle a lot of the time and doing his thing. So that might be, it's going to be interesting. On that note, can I push you for a score prediction?
Yeah, man. All right. Okay, let's go. Right. Right. Okay. Heart is saying 1-1, but the football head in me says West Ham win 2-1. But hopefully, you know what? I love when I'm proven wrong. I thought we was gonna lose against Leicester away, and we won that 3-1. So I hope my boys surprise me again. But when you're looking at it from a footballing point of view, the way that you're playing, you got pretty much your full team. You're fighting for top four. You've got so much motivation going into this game. It's hard to see past the West Ham victory for me.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's the thing. It's going to come down to a lot of it to our mentality, and we need to show that we have got the mentality to push for Europe. But I'm worried, like you said, when you're predicting things, the opposite happens. Like you predicted a 3-1 last time, and then we won 2-1. So I don't know if this is some psychological thing, and I'm going to predict.
You know what? I wish it was, but listen, I'm not. The thing is, I'm a Leeds United fan, but I'm a football man too, and I read the game properly, and I'm not going to say that we're going to win 3-1 away in our current state and also your current form. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that they do surprise me. I want that surprise. Trust me, I love to be proven wrong when I predict that we're going to lose. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah. I mean, our home form has been, really solid, really good. So I'm predicting 3-1. But what I always say is, when I'm confident, it makes me nervous. It makes me very nervous when I'm confident. I feel comfortable when I feel like when I go into a game thinking we're going to lose, because when I'm confident, I feel like that's when it's going to come back and bite me. But I think. I said that on our show. I could see maybe Lingard getting another brace, and then Ben.
I don't want to see him score. I don't want to see him score, and I don't want to see the band come out. I don't want to see that.
You can see some of his dance moves. See some Lingard dance moves.
No, I don't want to see it. Oh,
he's one of them players that is just horrible when he's against you, but when it's for you, just love it. But when he's against you, like fuck.
Dan, if he was on my team and he's doing that on different grounds against different teams, I'd be gifting it all day long. So I completely get it.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've been on the end of that from Lingard as well, so we know what it's like. But we're just loving that it's going for us. So I mean, I could say 3-1. Like I said, I think we will concede, but I think going forward, I'm really happy with our attacking options. But like either way, I think it'll be a good game. Hopefully Mike Dean don't ruin it either way, but that's asking a lot. But I mean, apart from that, like, good luck for the rest of the season. And like I said, it's for the squad that you've got and the injuries that you guys have got. I think you're doing well, and it's all about next summer for you guys. That's the big thing.
Dan, I just want to say, it's not taking away anything what the squad overall have done so far. To be 11th at this stage of the season, especially with having not our first choice centre back partnership for many games of the season, having Llorente just coming back into form, which is good. As you can see, we see with Llorente, he's the next step from the centre backs that we've had previously. It's just as simple as that. It's all about just gradually moving out those championship players. But fair credit for them all so far, man. 11th at this stage of the season is nothing to sniff at, and they've done well. Bamford, especially, I mean, even the most avid Bamford supporter at the start of the season would never have thought he'd have 13 goals by now.
Yeah,
So yeah, man, there's been loads of positives. We can't complain overall, man. We've waited long enough, and
yeah.
you're right. I
No,
mean, yeah, that's the way I look at it as well. It's all about our next steps. That's the most important thing. But I'm going to enjoy the season as for
yeah,
what it is so far.
absolutely. And you can't come up into the Premier League and then just like build that Premier League squad in
Mm.
one summer. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
take
yeah,
a while, like you said, to move all of them out. So it's all about that long term project. And
yeah,
yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see Leeds next season.
yeah,
And it'll be, like I said, the worst thing is I feel sorry for the fans that you haven't been there this season. I think that's a shame. But if
yeah.
they can give you a good season next season where you guys can be there, you'll have that feel like that first season back in the Premier League party vibe.
That's it. And it's like Raphinha said yesterday. He's loving the affection and everything else Leeds fans are giving him. Wait until he hears Ellen Road. That just cannot wait to see him play
Yeah,
in the flesh. It's going to be amazing. And for anyone that might think you know, because there's always those people in there that say, well, what about if you have that Sheffield United curse? Our recruitment is nothing like Sheffield United. We're going to be in a much better position. We've already recruited better than Sheffield United in terms of players this season in Rodrigo, Llorente, Raphinha. Sheffield United weren't signing any of those players. They've been signing not even top level championship talent. You guys took the top level championship talent.
yeah. And
Put some,
you haven't massively overachieved like Sheffield United. Do you know what I mean? They did in that first season where they had that massive overachievement, and it's like you guys, I feel are stable, like are stabilizing. So
yes, well, yeah, yeah,
but yeah, I think Raphinha when he plays in the Leeds versus Man United at Elland Road, I think that he'll enjoy that for sure in
yeah.
the
I
Premier
mean,
League.
listen, as bad as we was against Man United in that 6-2 loss, he still got both of the assists for that game for our goals. That's just what he does. That's the influence that he's got on the team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So no, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, so let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, man. It's KageyVision on YouTube, Twitter, and everything else like that. I'll be going live very soon. I'm gonna start doing live shows and talk about football. Leeds, yeah, I'll be doing Leeds reviews. It's always fun tuning in to see what kind of mood we're in, whether we lost or we've won. So, yeah, man, come and tune in that KageyVision.
Yeah, definitely go and check that out. Especially after our game, see whether he's happy or he's upset. I did go and check it. I mean, I usually check out your stuff anyway, but I was like, right, let me see what he said after the West Ham game, and yeah, he was very upset, but not like super rant. But you could tell he was just like, damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at that time, who knew was be talking about a top four contender? So
Well, no, exactly, because it just felt like, yeah, this is a team that's in and around us. This is like
yeah,
our top 10 rival, essentially, like one of the teams we can beat for top 10 in. So,
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
geez, and it was at home, and like they had every right to go into that feeling like we should have won that game. We should have won. Like, so no, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we've got the watch along on Monday, so everyone, if you want to check that out, come and join us. It's going to be an interesting one. It definitely is, especially with my D. So you might see us maybe losing it slightly at the ref, like last time. I hope not. Like I said, I just want it to be an easy cruise control game where I just want to be like that in the watch along for the whole day game. But that's
I
it.
hope it's not that easy. I know I've predicted a lot. I don't want it to be that easy though. So.
That's what I'm hoping, because my nerves can't take it. But yeah, thank you so much, KG, and I said good luck for the rest of the season. And everyone else, give us a subscribe if you haven't, and a like, and all of that sort of business. And yeah, come on, you irons.